West Tigers fans, the time has come. This season is starting this Friday night at Campbelltown. We are live from the Orange Grove Hotel. We've got a live audience there on the beers, ready to go. And I hope you're ready at home too for another episode of the West Tigers Life podcast. Give us a cheer, our crowd watching nearby. So be sure it's 8:30. Already plenty of beers have been had at the Orange Grove Hotel. We've got our crowd here. So be sure every Wednesday night, 8:30, join us at the Orange Grove Hotel for our show. Finally, we've got a game to preview this week. Footy is back. How good. Give us a follow on the socials at West Tigers Life on Instagram and Twitter. If you want to find all the stuff that we do, westtigers.com.au. If you want to support the show, patreon.com, patreon.com/Westlife, just like Brandon, who's joined us in the crowd tonight. Proud. What's your name on there? Sianu Fanu. So everyone in the Discord's claiming a player. So he's our Sianu Fanu fan club, head of the Sianu Fanu fan club in the Discord. So thanks for joining us. You're officially our first Patreon live fan. Righto, let's get to the boys. The stats man, he's out of hospital. The knee's recovered. He's back in the team, ready to go for round one. Welcome back. How's the knee?
Yeah, g'day, Josh. G'day, Rob. Thank you to everyone who's here watching live and those listening at home. It feels a little bit like we've hit the big time now, doesn't it? Knees, not too bad, actually. I've kind of been, my left knee, which was the one I had worked on while I was in hospital, has started to feel a little bit better. Swelling in that one's gone down, but the swelling in the other one's picked up now, unfortunately. So shout out to my rheumatologist. We can't give him too much crap because he's a Manly supporter, but he's been really good with me in the last, I'd say, 14, 15 months or so. So even though he's a Manly fan, we've got to give him some credit. So thank you, Dr. Russo, for all the work you've done for me down at Concord. One knee down, one to go.
Mr. Russo is Italian, obviously, an Italian doctor.
I think so.
If he does your knees like Italians build cars, it might catch on fire. But Mr. Bashara, how are you this evening?
I'm excellent, Josh. How are you? Good to be here. Less than 45 and a half hours to go till kickoff at the time of filming this. Very excited for Friday night.
So excited to get out there on Friday night, West Tigers v Knights. Before we get to the show, of course, we are also supported by iChoice, Jason and the team. With interest rates going down last month, wasn't it?
2 weeks ago.
They're saying they're not going to do it again, the assholes, but that doesn't matter. Jason can still save you thousands of dollars. He is at the corner of
the Boulevard and Liverpool Road, Strathfield. Give him a call on 9743 0000. And thanks to Jason and his team for all the support they continue to give us.
Literally, yeah, he can save you. If you're an idiot like me and have no idea about home loans, Jason literally will simplify it for you and literally save you thousands of dollars on your home loan. So give Jason a call. What's the number again?
9743 0000.
Beautiful. Righto. This afternoon we were all pumped up. We're all got a bit of extra pep in our step after watching the Thrive or Survive series that dropped on the West Tigers YouTube. Beautifully shot this afternoon. I assume a lot of people have seen it, although it's only been out for a few hours now. I've got a few clips to talk about, but boys, you've both seen it. Az, I'll get your thoughts first. What was your first reaction to watching that video on the West Tigers YouTube?
I'd say the unity within the group, how they all got around each other, was really, really good to see. that real team first mentality. And on top of that, the way that Benji had one-on-one conversations with a lot of the players, kind of wanting to instill some leadership in some of them. And obviously Taruva doing what he was doing while starting to develop appendicitis is an absolute credit to him. And like Buller as well, I'm really impressed watching him. Just it was a really good 28 minutes, and I'm looking forward to episode 2 already. Hopefully we don't have to wait too long.
Righto, we've got to play a clip here. Rob, you can use those so you can actually hear it. I've already know what the clips are going to be. So first clip, let's talk about the announcement of the captains.
Season, right? Now, we're going to have 2 captains. Romy, come up, bro. So,
It was definitely a pinch me moment for him to announce that for me.
He already was a leader, so for him to just get the title and for everyone to accept it and sort of understand, where he's coming from as well now. So I think it all just really helped, and he did really lead in that camp too.
It's only going to do good for me in my game, so I can't wait to just live up to that expectation and take on that responsibility.
these 2 blokes, from what I've seen, they're our fucking captains, okay? So congratulations. Let's roll.
Play all fast. All right? Centre birds.
Rob, if you didn't love Jerome Luai more than that and had more faith in Benji's decision to make him co-captain, I don't think you'd be convinced. But what are your thoughts on Jerome there?
No, I think they're both the perfect 2 men to lead the club. We discussed late last year who would be captain this year, and I think we all agreed that it would have been a really terrible decision if Appy was relieved of the captaincy, given of how well he's led the team and how he totally leads by example on and off the field. He's so courageous. And then obviously we've got, Romy, who, as I said last year, he's got that swagger, that confidence, that self-belief that he's going to exude on all the other players, and he's going to make them better players. I think it's just 2 great decisions. And just to back up what Aaron said, I think besides the fact that the 28 minutes of watching this, the first thing I thought of was this shit's on Tales of Tiger Town.
Yeah.
Better than seeing a CEO wearing his T-shirt, rocking up to games trying to look like Mr. Cool. But the second thing was Benji's leadership and how he speaks to the players. And I certainly got a newfound respect for how he treats everyone. He literally ticks all those boxes off the field. And we can see why our first 2 trials, even though we lost the first one, why the enthusiasm was so strong. We commented last week, Josh, how connected they seem to be as a group, how they all jumped up when Jack Burt scored the try. And, we pointed out Latu Fainu acknowledging Adam Dwayhe when they looked like they were vying for a potential second string halfback spot. So there's a lot of love there. And that video today just made me want to get to Friday.
Absolutely. Az, what are your thoughts on Romy there?
Yeah, real credit to him. I think he was always going to be the one to want to lead from the front this season. And I think having the captaincy alongside Appy is really going to help kind of build that in him. I think obviously with Appy not playing this weekend, he'll be the sole captain, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how he leads from the front with his, not just with his words, but with his actions as well. Bring on Friday.
100%. Right, next little clip here. Here's Mr. Galvin getting a few words from Benji.
Get on your fucking knees.
Lockie was given instructions to feed out throughout the team, but I think he just wasn't really clear.
Yeah, I threw Lockie in. Obviously, as a young half, your talk needs to be good. And one of Lockie's biggest challenges is the ability to be assertive with his voice. So throwing him into the hot seat straight away, just a quick reminder for him that he's going to have to find his voice on this camp. Who did I give that instruction to? Upper arm, Harold.
Yeah, Rob, a bit of instruction there for Lockie. So Benji obviously wants to turn him into a bit of a leader by example. But if he's going to play in the halves, that's basically, as Benji said there, that's what he's got to do.
Well, we didn't quite get there's a little bit more to that than the clip. He also said to him, if you're a half, you want to demand that ball, you've got to talk a lot more. He also mentioned to Lockie, you're not here for your fitness. You're the fittest bloke in the club. We just need you to talk more and be more of a leader on the field. And the more you demand it, the more you'll get the ball and the more you'll be respected for it. So it's good. Like I say, it's good to see Benji teaching Lockie, and who better than Benji to be, teaching a half about how to go about the game. So, very exciting to watch.
As, what are your thoughts on Lachlan Galvin in this video?
Yeah, not too much to add there, but I do think having an ex-player who was in the halves as the coach of the club, obviously the halves being one of those key positions, spine obviously being super important to a team, especially in the modern game these days. The fact that Benji has that experience and he's trying to pass that on to Lockie, but not only Lockie, to the other players as well. I think real credit to him, how he's trying to lead the team off the field, and hopefully on the field it all comes together. But I think Lockie, we all know he absolutely smashed the Bronco at the start of the preseason. I think almost a record time or something along those lines. So he obviously his fitness is nothing to worry about. He'll be good for a long season. But yeah, if he does get that talking, that on-field leadership, even though he's one of the younger blokes, like being a leader isn't just about leading. It's about obviously with the ball, got to, like Benji said, got to demand it. Then once you start demanding it, once your voice picks up, you'll be respected for it. And I think that's a real credit to, like, a real good lesson that Benji's trying to pass on to Lockie.
One last clip here. Obviously not going to play the whole 28 minutes. I do go to the YouTube. After you've listened to us, don't turn us off. Go to the West Tigers official YouTube page and play this if you haven't heard it already. One last little clip of Benji talking to Sonia Turuva.
Have you ever thought about influence?
Influence?
Yeah.
I can influence?
Yeah, so have you ever thought about how much influence you'll have on your teams? Leadership is understanding how much influence you can have. And for a guy like Tito, he's come from a club who's won 4 premierships in a row. Part of the reason we signed Tito was not only his energy, not only his performance, but his development into leadership. You've actually got more influence than you think, Yeah. And you're one of our greatest talkers with the maddest energy.
Energy everywhere. He's out, I know, man. During everything, con, running, wrestle, doesn't stop screaming. Massive respect for him.
And there was a moment.
Rob, Saruva there. I say this jokingly. I'm assuming you boys are in the same boat as me, but especially last week or so, I've had so many people say, how do you think Tigers going to go this year? How do you think Tigers going to go this year? And I say, half jokingly, we bought so many Panthers, eventually we're going to be good. But it's only half jokingly because guys, obviously Romy's a big one, Appy's a big one, Naden is another one that could make an impact when he gets back from injury. But Turuva has been maybe a little bit underrated because coming from that Panthers system and like Benji's done there, turn him into lead by example sort of guy, I think can be huge for this team.
Yeah, I think, we all underestimate the influence a winger can have on the team. And I would have thought personally that, Benji wouldn't have pushed Turuva to even take more of a leadership role or to influence the team more than he does. So it's actually really refreshing to see, and it just shows what a good coach Benji is and what he will be. So, if Turuva thought he's won a premiership and he's coming here and he's just going to do his thing, and look, he's an upbeat guy. I actually saw him today. He doesn't know me from a bar of soap. He walked past me and gave me a wave with a big smile, and you could just tell straight away, like, this guy's got such a great.
Who gave you away?
Personality. Turuva. I was at the Raw store.
Oh, you're there again.
I was there again. So
frequent flyer.
Yeah, and he's just walking by, and he's just like walking along calmly. He has a look, and just gives you a wave, and just a really happy personality. But it's good that Benji's trying to get more out of him because he's obviously got a lot to offer, and he's got a lot of teammates that don't know how it is done properly. So it's good for Benji to put a little bit more of an added responsibility on a player that thought, I'm just going to be on the wing and score my 15 tries a year and just do my piece. He realises there's more to work than just being a winger.
What do you think Turuva's going to add to the team this year?
Well, like Benji said, I think that influence, the ability to kind of also lead the team from example more than anything is probably going to be really important from him. Obviously, coming from that culture of the Panthers, he's also got connections with, like, international connections to the team as well, or players in the team as well. So just the ability to bring that culture, just like Terrell has, just like Luai has, just bringing that, and Royce Hunt as well. Jack Bird obviously not having as much success in recent seasons at the clubs he's been at, but just that winning culture, that winning mentality, win at all costs, and just some of that killer instinct I think we've been missing.
Absolutely. Right, let's get into the team list. I'm going to try a little bit different this week. Going to split rather than do our team than their team. Going to split it into sections of the team list with the teams together. So we'll start. From do forwards or backs first?
Let's start numerically. So
numerically, I knew you'd say that, but you got to do it.
It makes the most sense.
Go. Right, give us the two back lines for the game, Maz.
All right, for the Tigers, first of all, Heath Mason is the fullback. Sania Taruva and Jarrell Skelton both getting club debuts on the wing. Adam Dewey and Solomona Fa'atape have won the battles for the centre spots. Lockie Galvin and the captain, Jerome Luai, are the halves. For the Knights, their captain and fullback is Kalen Ponga. James Schiller on club debut on the wing along with Greg Marziu. Dane Gagai and Bradman Best are their centres. Fletcher Sharp and Jack Cogger are their halves.
Yeah, he said won the battle for centre position, but I think it's like Homer going to space. It was just kind of by the two greatest words in English dictionary default. Yeah, for Tape, look, that's I think when most people saw the team list, the outside backs into trying to contain this Knights one, Rob, which tore us up last year and could well do it again. Yeah, are you a little bit fearful of the outside backs defensively this week?
Look, I am a little bit fearful. There's definitely question marks about, obviously the centre combination in terms of their defence. I wouldn't say in attack there's an issue. Fata Ape's had quite a few line breaks in the couple of trials that he's played this year and scored some tries. But at the same time, Fata Ape played most of that first game, missed 3 tackles. He only had a small role last week, missed 2 tackles. If he can do his job, because it seems like he'll be marking Bradman Best. So again, if he can do his job defensively, Adam can do his job defensively on Gagai. We're in with a really big hope. But their back line, look, Newcastle have also got Fletcher Sharp at 5'8". He's an outstanding sort of winger fullback. So that's a new one for them. I know he played the trials there, but that can be all rocks or diamonds. So yeah, inexperienced. So hopefully we can, take a little bit of an advantage there. But if they make any breaks up the middle, I mean, someone like Fletcher Sharp, if he gets a ball in open space, it's shut the gates. So plenty to be concerned about from that point of view. I just also want to add with the back line, we love Romy and we love Taruva, but it's also their first hit out this year. So given it's their first hit out, given young Heath Mason's at fullback instead of Jareem Buller, and then Fata Ape was probably like 4th or 5th choice of being starting centre, you do get a little bit of nervousness. But I think the boys have worked really hard in the off-season. You saw the enthusiasm in the trials. You saw the trust they've developed with each other. The intensity's there. So, look, I just think it's a next man up mentality, and I think the boys will be ready to go. I'm ready to go. I hope the crowd gets out there Friday night.
Yeah.
And no matter what the weather is, there's
the weather,
no excuses. If these blokes can do a 3-day camp like they did, I mean, we can put up with a bit of water dropping on our heads.
Yeah, but I'm a bit more precious than a rugby league player. That's why I was never good at it. As Heath Mason at fullback, obviously Jareem Buller is expected next week, but he looked pretty good. But Kalen Pogner's arguably could be the best fullback in the world, or one of. But Heath Mason at the back, yeah, he'll do a job.
Yeah, I think he will. I really liked what we saw from Heath in both of the trials. He had some really good breaks, some really good carries from positions where it looked for all money, like he'd potentially get wrapped up and taken in goal. I think there was that one he made against Para in the first, sometime like the middle of the first half of that game, where he caught the ball around the 2-3 meter line and ended up getting to about the 20, breaking a couple of tackles on the way. He's an elusive little thing, so I think he's not Buller, and everyone's got to realise he's not Buller, and obviously he's not the one who's been building the main combinations throughout the preseason. But like you said, he will do a job.
Doing anything further on
fullback? Yeah, look, look, obviously Heath Mason, I thought was the best player on the field last week. So this is his opportunity. Look, as great as Dream Buller is, and it's fair to say Dream Buller at this stage of both their careers is a much better player. But if Heath Mason just has blinder after blinder, he's not going to get dropped. I mean, it's up to him to play really well every week. And I think Benji will reward a great effort no matter how good a player is. So you're going to have to earn your way back into the team. So it's a great opportunity for him. Just on Newcastle, I think, well, actually with both teams, I think both teams, given Fata Ape's defence, I think both teams will be targeting both other teams' right side defence. So they'll be going to their left more. Dane Gagai missed 6 tackles in their last trial against the Roosters, even though they had a massive win. So I think we'll be trying to target Dane Gagai. We'll have Adam there. We'll have both halves swarming on both of the fields, and Samuel Afenu being a raging beast. One other thing where we might be able to take advantage of the Knights is, as good as Bradman Best and Marju are, if we can get like kicks behind them and having to get them to turn around, they're good. They're great players, but they don't turn around real quick and motor back really quick. So you put a grubber kick through for a Mason or a Fata Ape or someone flying through a Taruva, that might be one way to catch them as well. But should be an exciting game. I think, though, the weather might dictate the styles of play that we both have. I think we're going to probably simplify our game if it's a really wet night. But I think we've got the edge on him in the forwards, which we'll get to shortly. But it's a very, very even tussle. But we've got to watch Kalen Ponga. Kalen Ponga is their absolute X factor. Whenever Ponga gets a 3-on-3 situation, it quickly becomes a 3-on-2. Whether he runs himself with a show and go or does a short ball or does a cutout, he's very hard to handle. So I think if we can stop their go forward, stop Ponga getting really good ball, we'll be halfway there.
Greg said in the Facebook comments, hope it's a heavy track.
Yeah, it's a bit like that. I mean, but at the same time, I think we've got so much good football in us too, Josh, that I don't want us to have to oversimplify it too. I think we've got plenty of attack, plenty of quality. We've got great halves. We've got a good fullback. We've got 2 good hookers playing this week. Good young forward. So I want to see an attractive game of football. I don't want to win. I don't want to win just because it's a bog. But yeah, no doubt, I think a bog would probably help us a bit more than them.
Righto, give me 8-13 for both sides.
All right. So for the Tigers, first off, Terrell May gets his debut at prop along with Fanua Pole. Talon De Silva is our hooker. Samuel Afenu and Alex Seyfarth are the second rowers, with Alex Twal at lock. For the Knights, Jacob Saifidi and Leo Thompson are their front rowers, with Phoenix Crossland at hooker. Dylan Lucas and Kai Pearce-Paul are their second rowers, with Tyson Frizzell at lock.
Righto. I think I'm obviously biased, but I think we might have the wood on him. It's a good looking forward pack for us. I think obviously there's plenty. Leo Thompson's quite a good big money fullback. Jacob Saifidi, he's a gun. How was Saifidi now? Is he hit 30? He's starting to get on.
At a minimum, late 20s.
Yeah.
At a minimum.
So Tyson Frizzell, I think he's my age. He's mid-30s, I think. So hopefully he might have slowed down a little bit. But
he's moved from an edge to the middle. So that's one thing. Saifidi scored a try against the Roosters, so he's playing quite well. The other guy you mentioned, whose name I can't see it.
Leo Thompson,
I think he topped the tackle count with over 30 tackles. Look, they've got enough there, but again, Phoenix Crossland's a hybrid hooker sort of half. And like I said, Fletcher Sharp, maybe a hybrid 5'8", which they're trialing. So there's plenty there that we can take advantage of. Would have been nice to have Appy in this week and try and expose them a little bit around the ruck, because it might be that sort of game this week. But I'm sure both hookers will do a good job.
Yeah, Talon, we saw it. You mentioned his game against the Rabbitohs on last week's show, where
in Central
when
Coast,
we played him in Gosford last year and had a blinder. So we know he is capable of doing Appy-like stuff. So hopefully a big game from Talon, and it'd be interesting to see how Benji uses Young Hope. Yeah, in terms of minutes, does he do 10 minutes either side of half time or something? Hopefully it's a nice big cheer from the crowd. Hopey.
Well, don't forget Hope played the first trial and he put out 35 tackles in that game. So he can handle the workload. And last week he had 15 tackles unmissed in his short time there. Scored a try. Found out a couple of lazy markers, ex-Tiger players at lazy marker. In Madison and Tuolangi. I think Hope will be looking forward to it, and he's going to give us a spark when he comes on too. And TDS will do his job from the first minute. So we've got a good tandem there, I believe.
As they said, Jack Bird, obviously we're not doing the bench at the moment, but Twally at lock. Do you think maybe Bird will come in to play a bit of 13 to kind of change the attack up a bit? What do you think Twally being at lock? What's the idea from Benji there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was what the change was in the first trial. I remember two players came off at the same time, Pole and Twal, in that para trial, and Bird went on, and I forget which other player went on at the same time, but I think that swap there was for Twal at lock. It to me, I think it's the one spot in the team that does feel a little bit open at the moment, because we don't really have what that modern lock that the game sort of demands now. Maybe Bird does fill that role when he comes on, but maybe it's Twal is obviously a really good defensive player. Not very well known for his try scoring or line breaking habits, but he did get a line break very early in that trial against Parramatta.
And a couple of offloads.
If he can bring some more of that form, he'll do the job for the first 20, 25 minutes or so, maybe 30. Then Bird comes on, and we saw the impact that Bird had straight away.
And Bird probably plays out the rest of the game. Twally just takes away that, that feeling out period of the first 25 minutes or so, and I reckon Bird will probably finish the game.
He potentially comes back into the forward rotation as well.
Twally come back on as a prop.
Yeah, he will.
Yeah. If Terrell puts out another 60-odd minutes or so, then Twal can potentially come back on for that last 20.
Yeah, it's an interesting... maybe starting out defensively with Twally. We know he's a rock defensively, so... just noticed on the stream, we're pushing towards 100 watching live. While you're there, I need to plug this more. Please give us a like, even if you're listening after the fact on the YouTube stream. Give us a like, leave us a comment, and help us with the algorithm. Share it with your friends as well. That goes for any of the apps. But good numbers for last week, and hopefully plenty of people can join us both here at the OG and on the stream next Wednesday for a celebration of a win. So, give me the bench for both teams.
Okay, so the bench for the Tigers is Tristan Hope, Royce Hunt, Jack Bird, and Sione Fainu. So an NRL debutant and two club debutants. The bench for the Knights is Jaden Brayley, Jack Hetherington, Brodie Jones, and Matt Croker. The reserves for the Tigers, Latu Fainu's 18th man, Charlie Staines, Kit Lauli'i, Tony Suka, and Ruben Porter. Thomas Cant is the 18th man for the Knights, with Will Price, Logan Aoki, Jackson Hastings, and Adam Elliott.
Poor old Jackson Hastings can't get a run. Rob, how do you feel about that bench? Obviously, we talked a bit about Bird coming on, talking about Hope. So Royce Hunt and Sione Fainu in the prop rotations. That's plenty of big bench press numbers.
Yeah, there is. I think both players can do a lot of damage. Sione's got a good offload, got plenty of footwork in his game, can tackle very well. Again, I say it every week, and until it happens, I'll keep saying it. Need to get more out of Royce Hunt. Hopefully he can put out, a little bit more than 20 minutes this week. I know he got 12 minutes last time, but his average is 21, and maybe the heavy conditions won't suit. But look, it's a bench full of impact for us. And to Newcastle's credit, they've got a really good bench as well. They've got a backup hooker there, some guys that are quite damaging runners. So very, very good benches. Not disappointed at all with our bench. I think it's a really good selection, and I think it shows the strength of our team that Latu Fainu played so well in that last trial, and he can't break into the 17. And I think it's just more about positions available as opposed to a knock on any form he's got whatsoever. We've got an absolute jewel waiting in the wings.
As thoughts on the bench?
Yeah, I agree with what Rob said. I think both benches look really solid. If we're looking at individual matchups or which player is the best against their opposite number sort of thing, obviously you have to say Jaden is better than Tristan because we don't have much to go by for Tristan. but Royce Hunt, I think, is a better player at the moment than Jack Etherington. The other two, I lost them there because you got rid of them.
Sorry, I wanted to see your pretty face.
Jack Bird versus Brody Jones. I really like Jack and what he's bringing to the club. Like I said, we've only had one trial for him to really get a bit of an idea of what he's doing, and I just lost the other one again.
Sorry, Az.
You're doing it on purpose.
Yeah, I was.
He's trolling him.
I was testing his memory.
He's trolling me in front of the live audience.
One more time.
Testing your memory.
I'm not the best multitasker in the world, so I'm like, I'm saying the names and then talking about them.
But it'll be interesting to see what sort of minutes Benji does get out of his bench, because I'm pretty sure Terrell's going to be on the field as long as humanly possible, because I know that's how much faith we've all got in him, let alone Benji. So I think the minutes need to balance out a little bit. But I guess we'll just see how the game's going, and I guess the coaching will adjust to how the score's going and how the game's panning out.
Right, moving on. So the player ratings will be back on when we're playing Friday. So during the game, I'll send the link out. I'll get Az to check that I've got. I'll send it to Az first, and he always checks to make sure I've got the right 1 to 17 in there. But we will have your rants in there as well. So be sure to drop in your ratings, drop in a rant as well. That'll go towards 3 to 1 points.
Hopefully, it's not a rant.
Well.
I'd like to hope that it won't
Well,
be
a rant
rants.
could be a positive rant. What's a positive rant? A
glowing
glowing review.
Glowing
review,
Yeah, about us, about the game, whatever you like. Come on, just throw in whatever you like in the rant as well. We'll be there Sunday. Everything is Sunday. Friday night, we'll be outside Campbelltown Stadium after the game, just outside the gates. On the station side, kind of near the Leagues Club entry there in the car park. Meet us in the car park
And
have you say it. Meet us in the car park's a bit aggressive, but look for the bright lights.
There'll be a lot of people there at least. So.
Yeah, look for the bright light. Look for us and jump on the mic like we did at the Leichhardt trial. So the post game rants on camera will be back this year. After every home game. We're trying to do it every home game this year, apart from Magic Round. I don't think any of us are going to Magic Round. So 11 home games to film as well. But if you don't see the link, go to westtigers.com.au, but I'll chuck it on the socials. Make sure you're following us on Instagram, Twitter, and the Facebook as well. Few other games. Maybe we'll go back. We'll come back to the other games. Maybe Rob Stradamus, you got anything for us?
Not I think we got too much bad weather this week and postponements and players dropping out of teams and what have you to be offering a tip. But maybe if the wet weather comes around, just keep your eye on the total points scored and see if unders is any value in some of the games. I think that'd probably be the best bet.
Try scorer. What are we thinking?
Look, I don't want to mention any Newcastle scorers. I think for us, it's actually going to be Taruva. Like I said, I don't mind a grubber kick being put in. And I also think we can create overlaps on the other side. So both our wingers are our best shouts for tries. And if Heath Mason's backing up any sort of break, he can put a try away too. So probably our back three would be my favourite. So I don't really like forward scoring in potential wet weather games.
I'm going for Pole for a try, especially wet weather. I can see him back. I'm just going to keep backing him for a try. Lower grade or other grades, New South Wales Cup this week. They are playing at. There's no ground.
Lidcombe, I think.
I think it's Lidcombe. For some reason, it's not on the team list.
I think the Magpies Twitter today put up a post.
Saturday after. It's their home game. It's almost certainly at Lidcombe. It's definitely not at Campbelltown. As far as I know, so Lidcombe Oval 2:00 on Saturday. So plenty of players in there. Stainsey's name. There's Felity, Alex Lob City's in there. Latu Fainu's in the halves. Kit Lalii is in there. David Clemmer's in there. A lot of NRL experience. Suka's played first grade. Porter's played first grade. Justin Matamula's played first grade. The Johanssons, they're both there coming off the bench as well. So plenty to, get out to Lidcombe, support the boys on Saturday afternoon because there's plenty of players in there that'll definitely, have played first grade this year.
Last year.
One of them will probably be a Dragon before too long, but a lot of players in there that will be knocking on a door of a first grade spot, Rob.
Do we know if this one's going to be televised on either of the streaming
devices?
I would think so, surely.
You don't know. They don't do all of them.
First game on a Saturday with Foxtel's only 3 o'clock or thereabouts, isn't it?
No, we're talking about the Bar TV subscription.
Okay.
So, which is pretty good. I'd subscribe to.
Never a good idea to ask questions you don't know the answers.
If the weather's good, I might. As is just looking that up, but I might head to League Mobile.
This doesn't say it is, so
get a sausage sandwich.
Normally it'll say so on the.
All right, while you're doing that, I'll go through the junior grades. SG Ball, Balmain got flogged 52-4 last week. The Magpies carved up the Steelers down there in Wollongong 42-14. This week, the Balmain sides are at Leichhardt, so 10 a.m. against the Doggies for Balmain and Kirkham Oval, Camden for the Magpies. SG Ball playing the Warriors at 11:30. Table-wise, Balmain are in 4th and Maggies are in 10th. Harold Matts, the Tigers got flogged up at Woy Woy Oval, unfortunately 38-6. Did you go to that, Terry? Did you go to Woy Woy to watch the juniors weekend? No? Okay. That's right. You were saying that last week. Yeah. And your cousin playing as well. Yeah. I hated playing at Woy Woy. It was always like a cricket pitch playing on that place, but apparently it's pretty good now. But yeah, unfortunately, the Tigers going down 38-6, and the Magpies went down 16-12. Balmain had the bye for some reason. Harold Matts they do, but SG Ball they don't. Don't know how that works. Harold Matts for the Magpies, 10 a.m. At Camden against the Waz. For the girls, Tasha Gale girls won 10-4. Lisa Fiaola girls won 54-0 down there at Netstrata Jubilee Stadium. Is that down? Yeah, that's technically down south from here, I guess. That's Cogra, isn't it? Netstrata Jubilee?
Yeah, that's Cogra.
Yeah, Cogra.
That's the name for the Cogra.
So the girls, 2 big wins for the girls. Tasha Gale and Lisa Fiaola. MacArthur boys, they in Laurie Daly Cup, they won 30-26. They played in Parks. Wow, that's a fair drive. And in Andrew Johns, they won 48-32. They're playing at what's that stadium? Can you read that? Yeah, Regional Stadium. Where is Regional Stadium as? Can you Google that? Regional Stadium in Sydney. They're playing against the Bulldogs somewhere. Regional Stadium. How can it be regional if it's in Sydney?
Not very regional, is it?
No. It should be suburban Sydney. Right. What is as looking up? That will go back to what I said I was going to back to the other games this week.
SG Ball, was it, or was it both of them?
It was the MacArthur games.
Oh, the MacArthur games.
Other games, Rob. Roosters Broncos Thursday night. Who are you thinking?
Look, I think both teams look a little bit weaker than what I'd like them to be, but I think I'm just going to go Broncos just on the Madge factor. He'd have them revved up to the hilt for a first up win, but Roosters still put out a good pack. It's just their back line that looks a bit ordinary with Chad Townsend at halfback and Sandon Smith is still trying to establish himself as a 5'8". They got that Mark, I don't know what his surname is, the rugby union centre in the centres there with a long name. They got plenty of changes there, missing the likes of their superstars that they used to have, but they've still got Tedesco, they've still got Dominic Young, they've still got Daniel Super. There's enough there if their halves get it right, but hopefully it's not too wet tomorrow night and we get to see a bit of Reece Lightning, the fullback for the Broncos. He's always good to watch.
Yeah, unless he's playing against the Tigers. Obviously we're the first game up on Friday. The Dolphins-Rabbitohs game has been moved to CommBank Stadium. So, and apparently a lot of Dolphins players pulling out. So
yeah, potentially 4 or 5 pulling out. Which I don't know which ones, but that totally changes everything. If they are actually out, I'd probably put my tip the other way.
If I didn't hate them so much, I kind of think that Rabbitohs deserve a bit of luck on their side, but I won't.
It would have been good too, like Bennett going up against his old club. That's always you'd like to see them both at full strength and bashing the crap out of each other.
Sorry, Az, did you find out where regional stadium is?
I can't find anything about
Google Maps. Go
regional
to
stadium.
Google Maps.
Okay.
Just type in Google Maps. Look up. Don't need
next week,
stats for it. I just want to. Someone let us know in the comments where the hell is regional stadium where the MacArthur boys are playing. Can you multitask, Az, and tell us your thoughts on Dolphins Rabbitohs? You got any thoughts on that one?
Well, I agree with Rob. I'm originally thinking of tipping the Dolphins just because I feel like the outs for Souths at the moment overweigh the outs for the Dolphins. But if the Dolphins are going to lose up to 5 players, depending on who those 5 players are, it does seem like it could swing back the other way, and the Rabbits might be the way to go. But it's one of those weird things for me because the Dolphins are my wooden spoon pick, and so it feels a little bit weird tipping them for a win in round 1.
So that was actually my last longer. You know how you pick one game out of the round as your banker? I actually had that as my banker. Like that's the one I was most confident of.
Yeah, that's all changed now.
Yeah, it certainly has.
Saturday Arvo, Saturday evening, Dragons Doggies at Jubilee or Cogra Stadium. Yeah, tough one.
Cracking game that'll be.
Yeah.
Absolute cracker. I've tipped the Dragons, but maybe there's a little bit of bias there because I've tipped Canterbury not to make the 8. Not that I've tipped the Dragons to make the 8, but look, their trial form's been really good. Not that it generally means anything, but they're playing with a lot of confidence, and Flanagan's got them fired up. They look fit. They look healthy. They've got Gutherson and Valentine Holmes there now. Look, they've got some good players, and Canterbury, I don't know. I still think they're lacking props and a halfback, but the rest of their team looks bloody good.
I can't see the rest of my draw here. Who are Manly playing?
Manly playing North Queensland at Brookie.
At Brookie on a Saturday night, 7:30. Look, Manly at Brookie. I can't. Very rarely would I tip against Manly at Brookie.
No, same here, but the Cowboys played awesome in their last trial match. So it's going to be an interesting
It's
one.
tough. Round 1's tough to tip.
First 4 rounds are always tough. It's very hard to get a gauge on anyone until after about a month or so.
As we got an answer.
No answer.
It doesn't exist. I refuse to believe this round exists.
Stadium Sydney into Google Maps, and it's just come up with 3 stadiums being Allianz, Accor, and
it's not a real place. It's like Narnia.
I'm too young for this, but it reminds me of Rex Moss, like always telling Barry Ross, his sidekick, what to do.
That's way before my time.
Yeah, way before your time.
Yeah.
It just gave me a little bit of a chuckle.
Any thoughts on Manly and Cows, Az?
It's really tough to tip against. Like you said, it's really tough to tip against Manly at Brookie. They're a really good team. The Cowboys, I've still got a couple of questions about the Cowboys this year. A couple of big outs, obviously the ACLs throughout the preseason. They did look really good against the Storm in that last trial, but the Storm were without a few players as well. So it is really tough for some of these games to really take too much out of the trials, considering who was or wasn't playing for certain teams. So I think the safe bet here would be Manly.
And the final game of the round, the Melbourne Storm, who haven't lost a round 1. Was it 20 years?
23 years.
Yeah, it's insane. One of the craziest stats in the NRL, and they've got a pretty. Yeah, the Eels without Moses, I think they're paying about
absolute morals.
$7. Yeah.
I'm not as confident as you, but it should be. It should be an easy win, but I'm not as confident. I'll be on Parramatta with the head start here, 10.5 or whatever it is.
You reckon?
I don't know. I think Parra's look. What's his name? The coach, Jason Riles. He's come from that system. He knows what to expect. He wants to prove his name. I know Parramatta lost to us in the trials, but they did enough in their first trial to show me that they've got enough ability to trouble any team. But obviously Moses is a big loss. But I'm pretty impressed with their replacement halfback anyway. So
in saying that as well, teams seem to have a habit of lifting for the first game under a new coach's tenure. So the fact that it is the first game for Bryles, there could be a bit of a lift from the Para boys. Some big name recruits coming in. I think Addo Carr suspended for this one, but Lomax is in there. So
they got enough there to trouble them.
A couple of people in the comments are saying regional stadium they believe it's Penrith Stadium.
Okay.
Penrith Stadium is called.
That would make sense, especially because it wouldn't be.
Still not regional.
It wouldn't be like Bluebird or whatever it was anymore because they're tearing it down.
Oh, okay. So so it's like saying Cogra or
possibly
what's another one? I guess Brookvale's 4 Pines, and so it's the non-sponsorship version. It's like saying Graham Park, for Gosford.
Although I thought that was called Penrith Park, so maybe there's a different stadium out there. Unless regional stadium is.
Yeah,
stadium.
that's the mystery. Call in if you know the answer.
North Coast Bulldogs though playing a home game in Penrith seems a little bit bizarre, but anyway.
Yeah, maybe. It has to be. I don't know. It said Sydney.
This might just be a mystery that goes unsolved.
It is a mystery, but I don't know. I hope the coach knows. Hope the coach of
So who are we tipping in the Tigers and Knights game?
I tip Tigers.
What about you?
I tip Tigers. I think we'll get them.
I hope so.
Statsman, you got something for us? I know there's no game last week. What do you got for us?
So I wanted to talk a little bit about how important it is to get off to a good start for your season, like how important it is winning round one in regards to avoiding the spoon. So I went back through the last 25 seasons to see how many times the team that finished with the spoon that year won their first game. And it happened 4 times. So most recently was the Broncos in 2020. They finished with the spoon that year, winning just 3 games out of the 20 in the COVID-affected season. But it was a really bizarre one for them because they won the first 2 games, and that was when the COVID shutdown happened. They came back from that, had another 18 games, and only got 1 win against the Bulldogs, I think.
Yeah, right.
Round 9. Next one was 2015, the Knights beating the Warriors. There was a spoon bowl that year as well because the Knights played Penrith in that final round.
That's the one Richo said. Penrith. What year was that? Sorry,
15.
I'm sure. Didn't Richo say that Penrith had a spoon bowl and then won the comp or something?
Oh, that was 2003, I think.
Yeah. Okay, it must have been different. Yeah, a different Penrith spoon bowl.
Yeah.
Okay.
A different one because it's not a very common occurrence. So, yeah, there was actually a thing where if that game ended in a draw, the Tigers, having lost to the Dragons, would have finished with the spoon because both of those 2 teams were on the same points as the Tigers. So with the Tigers losing and one of those teams winning, they avoided it by a couple of positions, same as Parramatta did last year. 2013, the Eels smashed the Warriors 40-10, and then only won 4 more games after that before they finished with the spoon. So that's a bit of an interesting one. 2010, obviously a bit of a different one here with the Storm, obviously winning 14 games for the season,
and being suspended.
Yeah, finishing on 0 points. They won their first game that year, so that's a tough one to take in. But I had a look. The Cowboys would have had the spoon otherwise, and they lost their first game to the Broncos. And that's the 4 of them. So no
Beautiful.
times between 2000 and 2010. So yeah, just 4 times in 25 seasons. So really important if we can get off to a winning start this year, then that puts ourselves further away from that dreaded piece of silverware or woodenware.
Super chats, no super chats tonight, but yeah, if you do want to donate to the boys with a super chat on the YouTube stream, you can do so or become a member like Gussie and a couple of other people have done as well. If you want to support the show, patreon.com/Westlife for $3 a month. You access the Discord, take part in the show, all sorts of, the Discord, all sorts of fun things happening there. What have you been up? Have you been in the Discord this week?
Been all over it.
That's there's so many channels and stuff now.
We kind of had a little bit of a. We can't go too deep into the subject, but we had a discussion about what Lockie Galvin should be asking for his next contract, and that kind of got a little bit heated, and not heated, but
hated.
I just got frustrated. I just like, okay, guys, you think what you want to think. I'll stay out of it and leave it up to Richo, and that's a good thing. Like, it's good to have a chat about all sorts of things, but when it comes to footy, I'm just happy to go to the games now, and we're not going to change anything. We're not going to change who gets picked in the team, who doesn't get picked in the team. So I think it's just good to get out and support the boys and not get involved in conversations that do your head in. But no, it's all good banter. But I kind of think, like, what's the point of discussing a hypothetical when it'll just take care of itself down the track one way or another?
Rugby fan club horse has been a lot of fun lately as well.
Yeah, I'm lost with all. I was just telling Brandon, I'm lost with all these fan clubs. Sam Weller or Sione or whatever you are, and Jareen Buller fan club, Terrell May fan club. Like, I just put.
What's your favorite channel, Brandon? Favorite channel on the Discord? Music, yeah. Actually, shouts Brocker.
Yeah.
Brocker's touring.
You want to give him a plug?
Yeah, I'll give him a plug. It's Airborne.
Well, just tell
one
him
of the
that.
greatest rock bands in Australia. Yeah, he's in. Where did he say he was? They're in
Europe.
They're in Europe. I'm trying to think what country you said. I think I'm trying to think. He said he was in Portugal the other day, but if you don't know who Airborne is, and you like Ace, they're basically the modern AC/DC. Check them out; they're incredible. I've seen them live a few times, and
Brocker should be listening to the show live.
Yeah, he said he's. I haven't seen him in the
live,
comments.
So g'day, Brocker.
He said it was going to be early more. I think he's in France. I'm pretty sure he said he's in France at the moment. But Rugby League Passport and someone else, big screen TV on the YouTube. They said apparently it's in Port Macquarie. Port Macquarie. That's not in Sydney. But
yeah, weird though that it says Regional Stadium Sydney.
It did say Sydney, but yeah, that makes sense. Port Macquarie be quite wet, I would assume, this weekend
for sure.
Cyclone
may get the game. Was the game on Saturday? It may get postponed because I think it's just on the border of where the
it's going to get smashed up there. But thanks to all our Discord legends. Have they got anything for us in the rant channel?
I think Shane put something in the Discord.
Okay, if you want to find Shane's one there next week. Obviously have a game to review.
Well, we should let everyone know. I mean, I don't think we'll go live, but that's up to you. But we're probably going to edit a small review on a Sunday night.
Yeah, we're going to try and do something on a Sunday.
Yeah, we're going to do something on a Sunday night just to talk about the game while it's reasonably
not
fresh.
live. Yeah.
We'll go into a bit more detail on the Wednesday, and obviously we'll do the crowd fan reactions after the game. So there's plenty to look out for on YouTube, and obviously. If you want to come down to the Orange Grove next week and support us, 305 to 311 Balmain Road,
Friday, 6
Lilyfield.
Any specials for Friday night for the game?
Should be behind us,
Terry. Yeah, $7 VBs. There you go. So come down the OG. Beautiful. That's from kickoff to full time. Kickoff, siren to siren. $7 VBs. There you go. Beautiful. Nice cold schooners. What the other coat?
Yeah, Sydney and Hawthorn.
Oh, AFL. I didn't know if you were talking about Union. Right, the AFL.
So $7 schooners and all round.
Well, there you go. As the big Swans.
Teams playing at the same time.
Because you'll have to come down here.
I actually went. Well,
I know you go to the game. I know.
Yeah.
I actually went to the opening round game last year. I was hoping to do it again this year, but no. As soon as
who are you playing, Hawthorn?
Hawthorn, yeah. As soon as the NRL
are they good?
came out, I was like, well, I kind of have to.
Pretty good now.
Kind of have to go to the NRL because that's where my membership is. So, I mean, there is a chance that both of my teams can give me an early birthday present on Friday night. So that's
you
what
went.
I'm hoping for.
What day is your birthday?
Saturday.
This Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday, ass. I knew your birthday was soon. I didn't realize it was on.
Yeah,
so, the Tigers have to win.
Creeping
Then.
up on me.
Parties at Regional Oval.
Yeah, if you see if you do see Az Friday night, wish him happy birthday. Don't forget, like I did. What Shane got for us in the Discord, Az?
He says, my rant for tonight isn't one. Just a note to say how pleased I am that we have a decent Magpie side running out on the weekend. It's good to see players who didn't make the West Tigers side not sitting out. See you guys Friday night.
Good on you, Shane.
Yeah, look forward to catching up.
And Jareem Buller, I am single, a.k.a. Baxter, just says Jareem Buller.
Jareem Buller. That is a take. That is a take.
You need to watch that official West Tigers video today. It was very, very moving.
Yeah.
Touched all the heartstrings, and I think our boys are very well prepared for this week, rain, hail, or shine, and get behind the boys.
If you weren't a massive fan of Buller before, you absolutely should be now.
Absolutely, yeah. Do join us. We're a bit of an early mark tonight because obviously we haven't had a game to review. We're going to be actually under an hour. That won't happen, I would say, next week. So yeah, we'll go grab a drink at the bar and get ready for Friday night. So yeah, if you do catch us Friday night, come outside the stadium, just between the station, and look for the bright light. We'll have the bright light shining, as is the designated light sky. He's so
Stats
good
guy,
at that.
light
So
sky.
Stats Guy, Light Sky. For the rants.
And the best after game comment, we will get their email and send them a $20 voucher for the OG.
Yep.
Personal challenge to all who join us, try and make Rob sing again.
No chance. If we win, need any encouraging, let me give you the tip. I'll be singing on my own.
Thank you to all that joined us on the stream tonight. There was literally 100. We cracked 100 tonight. That's awesome. So join us every Wednesday. Definitely Wednesdays this year, bar Origin, 8:30. But you can join us thanks to our crowd tonight. And
Terry.
we'll yes. Thank you, Terry. Thank you to OG. They've already said it, but as always, boys, go the Tigers.
Go the West Tigers.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Westlife Podcast. Please follow us at Westlife Pod on Instagram and Twitter, and facebook.com/Westlife Pod. You can also support and take part in the show at patreon.com/Westlife, and give us a subscribe on YouTube and turn notifications on. We'll see you again next time on another episode of the Westlife Podcast.